Hey guys, Dev here at WeBuyHouses.com, and it's time for Cash Offer Masterclass episode number 19. We are so close to 20, and 20 is going to be a special episode on Monday. So if you're watching these in real time as I release them, it's Friday. I got a very special episode coming on Monday, so be sure to check that out. And if you're watching this later, just be sure to watch the next episode because we got some. It's more of a educational thing, like a little class about wholesaling, if you will. Okay, so we're going to jump into this house. It's in Wimberley, Texas. I thought what was cool about this one is it's a 3-story house. It's near San Marcos. I'll show you the location. They say 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And I will say that's I'm gonna trust them on that. A 2-bedroom house that's 2,500 square feet, which is a pretty good size house. So I think it's just an interesting one, like the type of house, 3 stories, the low number of bedrooms. Let's jump into it and kind of see what we're dealing with here. So first thing I did, as you guys know, we're going to calculate the cash offer, or excuse me, well, obviously we're going to calculate the cash offer, but what we first need to do is the after repaired value. So, and this is kind of what I get into in the training that's coming up in episode 20, is that there's really 3 steps to what we're doing. It's determining what is the after repaired value. If we fix this thing up and it was in great shape, what would it be worth? Number 2 is what are the repairs needed to get it to that condition, that great, ready to retail condition. And then number 3 is to compute the cash offer that we can pay today, given what it could be worth and the repairs that are needed. And so that's what the whole Cash Offer Masterclass is all about. You got to get good at that. If you're not good at that, you won't be a real estate investor. You will be bankrupt. You got to buy these things right, or you are going to not be making money. You'll be losing money, and that's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do here. So, all right, let's jump in and find out. Is this a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom? I don't know. Let's see. So I grabbed the address. Now, first of all, it's in Wimberley, Texas. Where is Wimberley, Texas? It's right here. It's in between San Antonio and Austin, and that thing is right up there in that area off of Wood Creek. Wait. Oh, yeah, Wood Creek. Interesting. This is Wimberley proper, and they're showing the address is up north of this wood, or north and west of this Wood Creek area. Yep, all looks good to me. If I scroll back, I see Wimberley. I don't see Wood Creek. So that's where it's at, and pretty cool location. Both great cities, Austin and San Antonio. If you haven't been there, you got to go to both of those cities. You will have a great time. Okay, so let's jump into this. They say ARV 489, and remember our step number 1 is to compute the ARV. And then they're asking 289 for the property. So the first thing I'm going to do is I go to Google and I did the search. I found out where the property is. I kind of got a good sense of where it's located. Went to Zillow. Whoops, back to the listing. Went to Zillow, and there's something I found interesting here. This house is in the foreclosure process. In fact, it looks like it has maybe been foreclosed upon and is being sold at auction. Now, I don't know the relationship between our wholesaler here, which is Fazio, and this auction. So, if I was just to look at it on Zillow, I see 414 is the estimated auction sale. If I look over on Realtor doesn't talk about the auction. I guess unaware of it. And they say 417. What did our wholesaler say? 489. And so I've got 414 from Zillow, 417 from Realtor, pretty similar. If I'm on Zillow and I click on this auction details button right there, I go to this page and I see that, this house is set to go to auction on October the 7th at 1 p.m. So I don't completely understand what's going on here as far as it being offered for sale right now. And, the let's see, there's no opening bid. They say 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Everybody else thinks it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. By the way, if you're a wholesaler and you have a 2-bedroom house, you're going to find there's fewer investors interested in a 2-bedroom house. Most investors want a 3-2-2 or better. You got to put a family in there, and a 2-bedroom is just usually not enough for a big family, right? But when we look at the pictures, we're going to try to figure that out. And in fact, if we're on Zillow and we look at the pictures on Zillow, you're not going to see very much. The mailbox, it's a very, very nice mailbox. It was approved by the Postmaster General, and I think that's very, very important in your mailboxes. But it didn't help these people avoid going to foreclosure and being estimated to sell for around 414. So and by the way, I looked on Property Radar. Property Radar had this thing at like 48. I don't know. It was like, it didn't recognize that there was a house on the property. That was a little weird. So let's go into our calculator. Let's see. I don't think I've got it set up yet. I don't always have things set up when I meet with you guys, but you get to see what I do every time. 2527 is our square feet for this property. We're trying to get to, they don't have me a dollar value. Let's see. What are we looking at here? We think this house is worth, let's just take the Realtor 417. If I take that, my calculator, and I go with 417,600, and I divide that by the 2527, I'm going to get 165 per square foot. I kind of like that number. I think 165 per square foot might be a winner. We've got 417 as our after repaired value. And so right now, right from the beginning here that I've got a 417 ARV, they've got a 489. So we've got quite a spread right there between what, I would totally believe it's worth 489.5 if I had any single data source that told me that, and I don't see that. And so some of you may say, well, it could be worth more than it appears. Like, because if you bought it and you did all these great things to it, golden doorknobs and all that kind of stuff, it could be worth 480. Sure, it could be. Like, if you put $80,000 into it, it might be worth 80. You'd hope it's worth $80,000 more. But generally, when you look at these numbers, they're applying like comps, like houses recently sold in this neighborhood. Zillow and Realtor are aware of what they sold for, and they're taking that dollar per square foot of recent sales and they're applying it to the subject property. And they're coming up with around 417, and so are we. So don't, and again, you guys know I love Fazio. Shout out to Jade at 214-646-9646 if this is a property you'd like to take a look at or consider. But wholesalers are almost always optimistic on their ARVs. And, if you're a wholesaler, you're putting out this kind of information, be aware of that. If you come out really, really hot on your ARV, people aren't going to take your deal seriously. Now, one thing that you and I have seen now in almost 20 episodes is it almost doesn't matter to me what they say the ARV is. I take the one I can figure out, I compute my repairs, and then I come up with my value. And sometimes the value is pretty close to what they're asking. So the ARV didn't really matter that much. But that's where we're going to be. Oh, here's my numbers from the last one. Let's zero those out. And you can see that if this house was in perfect condition, needed absolutely no repairs, and we just applied our discount value of 70% to the ARV, we would be able to offer $291 for the property. What are they looking for? $289. So as long as this house doesn't need more than $2,000 in repair, we will be in great condition and we'll be able to buy this house and it'll be a smoking deal. But $2,000, generally not a very good budget for repairs and upgrades. But maybe this house is beautiful. And the cool thing is on Zillow, we're just seeing these outdoor pics in that beautiful mailbox approved by the Postmaster General. And what we're about to see with Fazio is we're about to get in that house. And that's, man, I can't thank them enough for giving us content like this. A 3-story house. This is our first 3-story house on the Cash Offer Masterclass. That's pretty cool, right? Let's jump into the pictures and see what this thing looks like and what does it need. First floor hallway. They've got it all labeled. Right off the bat, this is clean. Yeah, look at that. Very clean. Well, maybe not that. I'm kind of going into, when you go in closer, not quite as clean, but no, come on, that's pretty clean. And even if I had to do some paint, which I probably would, it's not bad. This is not bad. The floor looks pretty good. Floor looks consistent. Got nice trim around the bottom there. All right. No popcorn. Modern texture. It's a nice. We're off to a good start. We're off to a really good start. I like the flooring product they've used. It kind of looks a little wavy. Probably an LVP. Maybe a stick down. Because it's got a little bit of waviness to it. It's all right. It's all right. I think we see this so much in houses where there was like a painting or something and they painted around it. And then they take it off the wall. And, well, there's your old color. That is so lazy. So lazy. All right, we're looking in the living room here. And again, I don't know. I have a feeling if we were to look close, we're starting to see some flaws in this flooring product. And there's an outlet in the floor. I've done this before. I've built houses where I put outlets in the middle of the room because you're going to have an end table or something there. Yeah, that's what that is. I like that fireplace. It's just simple tile, but it was done nicely. All right. Hey, we got some guys working. Already we got guys in there working hard to make this a better house. And it looks like they've replaced countertops. Those countertops don't look bad at all. No backsplash yet. So I think these guys were doing that. This might be a flip that gone wrong. Flip gone wrong ends up, when your house ends up being auctioned, something has gone horribly wrong. But at this point, things were going well. They were replacing stuff. I like that wall. It's a cool accent. I don't know what I'm seeing up there. That could be cobwebs. It looks like cracks, right? I think we gotta, I don't know. Why would it crack right there? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think that might be cobwebs. Don't know. But that is, again, decent flooring product. Really nice accent wall. I dig that. I like it. And show me more of the floor. More floor, please. Looks pretty good. Oh, cool. I like that green. I think we're going to see that in a minute. This shower is awesome. I love it. I mean, I wouldn't mind having it myself. It could be a little rocky there on the road down there. This looks like there's a Hot Wheels or Matchbox car down there, and that it crashed, as you noticed, because of the rough surface. So, well, a truck can't drive across it, but it looks pretty cool. I like it. Let's go to the, oops, yikes, where was I? Sorry, y'all, I clicked off. This is where we were going. They've got a survey here of the property, kind of a long, narrow property. So that's what I'm seeing. 0.057 acres would be very, very small. I don't know what I'm looking at right there, be honest with you. Because that would imply something, I don't know. We'll come back to that. Yeah, this looks more like it. Driveway, house, blah, blah. All right, well, you got that stuff. That's cool. 3 stories. Look at that. One, two, three, I guess, with these things. It's an odd looking house. It looks like I don't know. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. Honestly, one of the guys that works for me, when he saw it, he said, "This house looks exactly like the Fazio logo here." It does. If you look at it, this house, 388 Shady Bluff Drive, was the inspiration for the Fazio Real Estate Solutions logo. All right, there we go. It's different. It's not bad. Looks kind of cool. And honestly, man, the textures on the inside, some of these things, like that is so clean and nice. And look at that beautiful modern texture with the curved edges. I like that a lot. There's so much I like about this because I look at it and I don't see a lot of work. I love that green. I've generally gone like white or gray on cabinets, and I saw the green in this house and just thought it looked really good. You could see they were spraying it. They hadn't sprayed that yet. So somebody came in here and did some work. They put in this island, they put in countertops, cabinets, the whole 9 yards. Maybe yeah, that looks like a Frigidaire, stuff that is. Anyway, it looks nice. Oven, stove top. Is that new? Probably not new. I'm gonna say that's not new. They're cooking with avocado oil, which I highly recommend. I love it. And see that green? The green is nice with that glossy brick backsplash and that nice marble or granite countertop. I like it. I like what they did here. I think they ran out of money. I think this is a flip gone wrong, my friends. Be still and know that I am with you. Amen. I would say that. Be still and know He is with you. All right, so let's see. What do we got? Let's move along. We got a bathroom here that looks like, I don't know, it's a little odd. There's a whole lot of tile going on here, and I don't love tiled surfaces on countertops because the grout catches all the junk. But yeah, it looks like I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a word like a spa or something. Everything is tiled, but it looks all right. Got a lot of light coming into it. That's pretty nice. Double vanity. This is old stuff. Yeah, I don't love those sinks. I don't like the way those sinks pop up like that. It's a style. It's a style that I doubt you'd find at Lowe's right now. Faucets look okay. They match. That one's pointed backwards. Something's not quite right. And cabinets are okay. Got tile coming up on the walls around these mirrors. They went to town with that tile. Got a nice, maybe we'll see that in the next shot, that shower. Did they show us the shower? No. So you got a shower back there. It looks pretty cool. It's a good size for a master bath. Pretty good size. I think this is modern texture. I don't think it's popcorn. Got carpet in the bedrooms. You can see the seams. Probably looks very old with trails on it, pathways. Nothing looks worse than cheap carpet. Expensive carpet will last for 15 years. Cheap carpet will last for 5. So a lot of times in a flip, you buy a house, it was recently done. If it does have carpet, they went cheap. Trust me, because you're trying to save money, and you're going in there and doing a flip, right? Yeah, there's a bedroom, and again, there's this question of one or 2 or 3 bedrooms, and I think we saw that one, master bath. I'm going back to the other bedroom. Yeah. Oh, no other view of another bedroom in those pics, right? No mechanicals. Can't see the air conditioner. I can see condenser units outside. I see they've got 2 of them. Generally, you're gonna on a multi-story house, you're gonna have multiple air conditioning units that feed upper floors. I would bet you've got one for the downstairs and one for second and third. That's my guess. But I can't see them. I can't do anything with that. You know, there's a lot to like about this house. I like that backsplash, if that's what you would call that, I guess. It's a lot of backsplash. So much backsplash. Yeah, there's a lot to like about it. All right, let's jump over to the calculator. What do we have here? We are reminded as we come down here and thinking about the big 5, the roof, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and foundation. We're kind of concerned about all those things because if there's a problem here, that problem could cost us thousands and thousands of dollars. And so you've got to know if you've got a problem in one of the big 5. And you have to checklist these things off. HVAC, roof, it's the plumbing, the electrical, it all is good. And then you know that the rest of your calculation is going to be pretty strong. If you miss one of those, you are in bad shape. So what do we think about this house that we just looked at? Well, one thing I think is we're not seeing a lot of cosmetic. We are seeing floors. Like that floor definitely needs to go, but we could replace that. $800, $1,200 worth of carpet could replace that. I think the kitchen needs to be finished, so we need a little bit of that. And, other than that, kitchen finished, a little bit of flooring. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say that we are at let's say if I said 25% of the budget would be $6,000. Just to be safe, I'm going to go to 0.5 and just say 12,000. I don't see 12,000 in repairs in this house. I think for 6-8 grand, we could go in there and fix it up. I'm concerned that there's something in here that I don't see. They didn't show me that air conditioner. I think it's good. What was the year the house was built again? It was 2005. So bare minimum, it's probably just a 20-year-old unit, but 20 years is getting older. So I could be concerned about HVAC, foundation, all those things, but I just don't see anything wrong. And if I put in 50% of a full cosmetic, it gets me $12K. It's a very big house. I did see some things in there we might want to paint. Remember, we were looking closer and we were going, oh, it's not quite as pretty as we thought. There's probably some painting in there. I feel good about this. I feel good about 12 grand as my budget to go in there and just clean this thing up. And that's what I think we have here. So where are we at? With a 12 grand budget, we're at 279, 234 as far as what we would offer. They're at 289, 500. What is that difference? $9,000. I'm at 279 there. No, it's $10,000. Do the math, Deb. Do the math. It's $10,000. Now, again, I think there's something weird going on with this thing being showing up as being going to auction, in foreclosure, usually offered by the bank or whoever foreclosed, the sheriff, whatever it might be. I think, what was I about to say? I was about to make a point. So basically, I think we are good at that 280. And my whole point in showing you that was to say, I don't understand this auction thing. I don't understand how they're selling the house while the house is scheduled to go to auction. And they may have a deal with the owner that if they can get X dollars by X date, the owner will just sell it and not deal with the auction. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. And that's one of the things if I was to call Jade Vaughn at Fazio and talk about this, I would say, hey, I see the property is set to go to auction, but you guys are offering it at 289. Tell me more about that. The 489 was not supported. That's not unusual. the 289, honestly, guys, is not very far off our cash offer. And you might say, hey, most of the time it would cost me $4,000 in marketing costs to find a homeowner that's motivated, get them under contract, get them to closing, buy that house. By that time I get somebody all the way down the pipeline like that, that's about $4,000 in marketing costs. So if you just think about it, it would cost me $279 to buy this house, maybe $4,000 in marketing costs to find it. And so I'd be at 283, they're at 289. We're not that far up. So even though the ARV was kind of wacky and optimistic, the cash opportunity to buy this house is pretty reasonable. Now, could you go, maybe don't buy it, see if it goes all the way to auction and try to buy it at auction for less? Maybe. Often I see at auction things go for more because you've got this competition there and everybody trying to win the deal, I don't like auctions for that very reason. Too many people there, too much competition at one place at one time. So you know what? I'm going to call this one a pretty good deal. If you have any interest in it, again, reach out to Jade, 214-646-9646. I have no association with Fazio. Never met the guys. I hear that, what's a guy named Nicolo? This guy, he's a pretty cool guy. So yeah, I hope he doesn't mind me using your content, bro. I really do appreciate it. And I always push you guys. Come on. I love Fazio. So with that, we're going to say we are done for today, and we are not that far off from what they're asking for. And this is not a bad house. And I don't think it's a 3-bedroom house, though. And that could be a really big problem. As you go to flip this thing, sell it to an investor or whatever, people don't want 2-bedroom houses. They want 3 or more bedrooms in these houses. Hey guys, go to Cash Offer Masterclass to join my community. If you get the calculator, you're really signing up to be a part of the Cash Offer Masterclass. And over the coming months, we're going to have all kinds of events and things that we're going to do with this thing. It's going to be awesome. You can also catch up on the videos there at cashoffermasterclass.com. Be sure to subscribe over here on the channel WBH Dev. You can just search Cash Offer Masterclass on YouTube and you will find these videos because I am the Cash Offer Masterclass, the one and only. So guys, it was great spending some time with you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. That didn't, I'm sorry. I had this over here and I just realized it's from the prior deal. Ignore that. I hope y'all weren't looking at that. It was right there. So, all right, guys, I'm getting goofy now. Starting to get goofy. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to taking the weekend off. I'll see you on Monday. I've got a special show coming up on Monday. So join me on Monday. Look forward to seeing you. Take care. Have a great weekend. Adios.